Hey guys, if you want to start making your own desserts at home, you might be wondering, what do you all need to get started? Well, I'm going to be sharing the top 20 must-have baking essentials to get you started making delicious desserts for the people you love, plus a bonus item at the end that you're not going to want to miss. These are also really great gift ideas for people that you know who love to bake. And all of the links to the items that I'm going to show you are in the description below. So the first item on my list are mixing bowls. These are super important. You can't really make anything without bowls. So you can get really whatever kind of bowls you want, but I would make sure you get them in different sizes for different things. And you're going to need obviously more than one. So I love plastic bowls for baking. These are probably the ones I use most often. But stainless steel ones are really good too, and they will never break on you. These ones are obviously customizable if you want to get different colors. And you also want to make sure you get some sort of microwave safe bowl. So you can use the plastic ones, but if you don't want a microwave plastic, get some sort of microwave safe bowl. Number 2, measuring cups and spoons. Wet and dry, because in baking, all things need to be precise. And that leads me onto the next item, which is a kitchen scale. I personally love to weigh my ingredients because it just makes everything more precise, and it makes sure you do it the exact same every time so you get the same result. And I personally love this kitchen scale, and the link will be in the description so you can check it out. This one comes with AAA batteries instead of those I don't know what they're called, but the circle flat ones, they're just really annoying because they die right away. And they're expensive. Number 4, a whisk. Now, I would really recommend getting more than one. One for dry, one for wet, and just get a couple extra just to make sure. This is actually the only one I have now. I used to use this one, which was actually my favorite one, but you know, it broke. So I only have one, and it is a struggle. It is not fun only having one whisk. Definitely a good Christmas gift for someone who loves to bake. And the next item is probably one of my favorite things because it's so customizable to the person and you can get so many different colors and designs. And that is rubber spatulas. I love them and I use them all the time, and you need one because then you're just going to be wasting batter or whatever you have in your bowl. You need one. And the best part is you can lick it off. And I would also recommend always having more than one. And you can never have enough spatulas. So if you know someone who loves to bake, get them more spatulas and you can get them any color that you want, that you know that they would love. Number 6, cookie sheets. You obviously can't make cookies without cookie sheets. And everyone loves cookies. Cookie sheets are definitely a must-have if you want to bake for your family, because cookies are so easy to make and you can make a lot of them. Now, when it comes to cookie sheets, I really recommend getting double the amount that you can fit in your oven at one time. So typically with these small baking sheets, you can fit 2 of them in the oven at one time on a single rack. So I would get 4 of these. So that way, when you have 2 cookie sheets in the oven baking, you can fill the next 2 with the rest of the batter. And then when the other cookies are done, you just take those one out and then put the next ones back in. And it just makes everything so much easier and faster. And you don't have to waste so much energy having the oven on all day. And I really love these big baking sheets, but you can only fit like 1 of them in, but you can make double the cookies, so it really doesn't matter. And I have 2 of them, and that's perfect for me. So if you can fit 1 in your oven, just make sure you get at least 2. And that brings me to the next 2, a cookie scoop and parchment paper. You need these to make cookies. Cookie scoop, obviously it makes it a lot easier to scoop the cookies. You can do it with spoons, but it's just not very expensive and makes everything even. Parchment paper, you need to line your cookie sheets with parchment paper so it doesn't stick to the cookie sheet. And parchment paper can really be used in a lot of things for baking. The next item is a rolling pin. So a rolling pin is really good for if you are making cookies that you have to roll out and cut out, or cinnamon buns, peanut butter rolls, things like that. Number 10, cupcake or muffin trays and liners to fill them. So obviously you need these if you want to make cupcakes or muffins. And same thing with the cookie sheets, you're going to want to get double the amount that you can fit in the oven. It just makes everything easier. So the next thing that just makes life so much easier and will help make you a great baker is a stand mixer. This is a KitchenAid stand mixer and I love it, and it is a beautiful color. But personally, I think a stand mixer is essential. Now, there are some things that you can just mix by hand in a bowl, in a spoon, in a whisk. But there are things that you really need some power, like when you're making cakes and you have to cream butter and sugar together, or when you're making frostings and you need to whip it for a very long time. You're gonna need a stand mixer, so I would really, really recommend investing in one. And these KitchenAid stand mixers come with a paddle, a dough hook, and a whisk. So you can do a lot of things with it, even make bread. Number 12, a hand mixer. Even if you have a stand mixer, a hand mixer is really good to have. This is great for things like brownies or some box cakes or just small batches of whipped cream. That's pretty much what I use this for, is whipped cream and brownies. But also you can make a lot of things with this even if you don't have a stand mixer, and it's just a cheaper option. The next item is cake pans. So depending on the kind of cakes you want is depending on what kind of cake pans you want to get. If you're looking into cake decorating and making layer cakes, you're obviously going to want to get some round cake pans. And there are also square cake pans and rectangular ones. This one I love. It has nice straight edges. Now this is really great if you want to make brownies or bars, so I would definitely recommend. Once again, just a reminder, all the links to the things are in the description, so you can easily go check those out. Now, if you're looking to start decorating cakes specifically, the things that you will need are a turntable, cake scraper, piping bags and tips, and some cake spatulas. You need some sort of thing to be able to turn your cake while you're decorating. And this is a really great option to get you started. It doesn't need to be fancy or really pretty, it just needs to work. You also need a cake scraper so you can scrape the sides and make nice, straight, smooth sides. And then obviously piping bags and piping tips. You also will need this for if you just want to do cupcakes too. So definitely recommend, and with piping bags, definitely get more than one. Cake spatulas. I would recommend getting a couple of them. If you're just starting out, you really don't need all that much. You'll need a offset spatula so you can smooth the top of it. You don't have to, like, you know, go like this and this will just get in the way. And the straight spatula is really good for putting buttercream on the sides of the cake. And I would also recommend getting a small offset spatula because it is just really good for smoothing things out. Like if you're smoothing some filling in the cake, or if you're making brownies and you want to smooth the brownie batter in a pan, it's just really good to have, and it's so cute. Number 18, a small saucepan. This you'll probably already have just for cooking, but you're gonna need one to make fillings and sauces, to put in your cupcakes, to put in your cakes, to drizzle on top of things. You'll need one of those. Number 19, wooden spoons. These are my favorite wooden spoons. You will obviously need spoons to stir things. And number 20, oven mitts and hot pads. Very important so you don't burn your hands. So here is a bonus item that I personally think is really important if you want to start baking, and that is a notebook. Now this is to write down your recipes. So if you're looking up recipes online and you try it and you really love it, you can just write it down in here so you don't have to keep looking it up later. And also you can write down everything that you change and customize so that way you know for next time, so it'll be exactly the same. And then you have your own book full of your favorite recipes. Now, if you want to see some of my favorite dessert recipes, you can click right here. And if you got value out of this video, I would love it if you could like and subscribe. See you next time.